All right, here's how to put your photos all together for the Multiplicity assignment. You can see I'm here in Bridge, and I've got my Multiplicity folder, and I've already gone in and given 5 stars to the photos that I want to be a part of my Multiplicity. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my 5-star filter and press Control A to select them all. I'm going to open these up in Camera Raw by clicking on that button right there. And because these were all taken in manual exposure, that means that all 4 photos have the exact same brightness and darkness, which means I can just press Control A, and I really only need to edit 1 photo. You can see when I make changes to one, it makes changes to all 4 of them for me, which is super awesome. I've actually already done the editing on these photos, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on Save Images, making sure that I had all 4 of them selected before I do that, and then make sure that this right here, the format is on JPEG, of course, and the file extension right here is JPEG. And then just choose the location, and as always, we're going to put them into the photo drive, our period, our name, our assignment, and then we always make a new folder and call that edited or edits or whatever. And go ahead and click on that, and then just go ahead and select and save. And of course, I'll just wait for this right here to finish, which it is done, and then I will press done. And I'm back in Bridge, but you notice I'm still in that folder, but I can't see that edited folder, and that's because my 5-star filter is still turned on. So I'm going to turn that off, and now here's that edited folder. I'm going to come in here, go to Edited, press Control A to select all 4 of these, and then just come up here to go to Tools, Photoshop, Load Files into Photoshop Layers. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up Photoshop, and it's going to put all 4 images in the same canvas on top of each other, like this. So you can see these loaded up, all 4 of them in the same layers panel, all on top of each other. And you can see that by just turning these eyeballs on and off, and that allows you to see your different photos. And here's what you want to do. What I like to do is I like to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I'm going to turn off these 3 layers by clicking on these eyeballs right here. You can either do it one at a time, or you can just click and drag over them, and just like that to turn them off. And I'm just going to check the bottom layer. It looks fine. There's not really anything I'm going to do with it. And now I'm just going to start working my way up from the bottom. So I'm going to go to the next layer. I'm going to click on it, turn it on by clicking on the eyeball, and add a layer mask. And then I want to stop, because you really want to make sure when you're doing this that you have the layer mask selected and not the photo itself. Remember, if you have the photo selected and you come out onto your screen and you start painting with black, all you're doing is just drawing black onto your screen. So make sure that you're on your layer mask and not the layer itself. So you can see in this video, I need to make this guy right here appear, not in this video, in this layer. So right now he is hiding here. So I'm gonna, with my layer mask selected and with black as my foreground color, I'm going to create a temporary hole in this layer so that I can see this young man through that layer. And you'll see all I did, if I turn off this bottom layer, all I did was make a hole in my 9106 layer, this one right here. And remember, with layer masking, black erases, but white restores. So if I wanted to bring that hole back or fill that hole back in, I could just paint with white. And that's the beauty of layer masks. It's never permanent what I do. So this looks good. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to move on. So I'm going to come to the next one. I'm going to click on it, turn it on, add a layer mask. And now this is going to be a tough one here, because I need to make this Trenton over here appear. Let's see. Oops, I was painting with white. So let me try painting with black. And sometimes I need to turn this off so I can see where he is. Okay, so he's in this chair and he's over here. And I'm just going to paint him in here and then paint him in over here. And you can see here's where things get difficult. This is where things start to become a little bit more challenging, in that we have some overlap and that these guys are all kind of behind each other a little bit. It's really not that hard. The key is that just as you zoom in and get closer, you just want to start making your brush smaller. Because the smaller the brush is, the easier it is to kind of control what you're painting and what you're not painting. Until you get to the point where you're just right up against the sweatshirt, in which case you want to use a real small brush and come in and just very carefully, right along the edge there, do your erasing. And you can see, I can see part of his sweatshirt right there, so I need to just switch to white. To press X to do that, and I can just make that go away. Remember, white restores things, so that's what I did there. And then at this point, I'm just going to go along just very carefully along the edge. You can see when I come out away from the edge, I make my brush bigger again just to make things quicker. And then as I get in closer, I just make it a much smaller brush and just keep going along the edge, taking my time, to get it right. No hurry. There's really no quick way to do this, you guys. It's just, you just have to take your time and work your way through. A good keyboard shortcut is when you're zoomed in this close, if you want to move around on the image, is you just press and hold the space bar, and that turns the cursor into the hand tool, and that allows me to click and move around inside my canvas so that I can quickly pan from one location to another. And I'm just going to keep working on this until it's all set. Okay, so I'm done with that one, and now it's time to do the last one. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, turn it on, and add a layer mask. But one thing I noticed right away is look at the ping pong table. See, it looks like the camera moved a little bit in this photograph here. So that's not the end of the world. It is kind of an issue, but I'm going to show you how to fix it. It's actually really easy. So again, making sure my layer mask is selected, I'll come out here with my brush tool and just start painting with black to make all these other dudes reappear. And you can see, if you look at the table, bad things happened in that the camera moved. You can see it in the background, you can see it in the table. I'll zoom in here in a second and show you. So you can see how right here there's two tables. And you can see there's two lines right there, and that's because the camera moved between the shots. It's actually really easy to fix, and what you're going to do to fix that is just select your move tool, which is this one right here. Keyboard shortcut is V. And you're just going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard, and I'm just going to figure out, do I need to tap up or down to get this lined up a bit? And it looks like I need to tap down in this case. So I'm just going to keep tapping down on the arrow keys until that lines up. And sometimes you'll need to go left or right too. It doesn't look like I need to in this situation. So just a little up and down solved that for me. And now it looks as if the camera did not move. So that's actually a pretty easy fix to do. And there you go. Just like that, I'm done. So I'm going to do a quick little file save. And of course, I'm going to save it first time as a PSD. We'll call it finished multiplicity. And then, of course, I'll do a quick little file save as, because I can't turn PSDs in on Flickr. I'm going to change this from a Photoshop to a JPEG, and that's the one that I'm going to turn in on Flickr. And there you go, you're done. You just finished the assignment.